talked about, I mean, I know the points he had in the Nevada game, but just to get out there again, just these last two games, being in the starting lineup and producing a little bit, what's that meant to you?
It means a lot. It's a goal. It's been a goal line to start, and starting at the highest levels, it's huge. I mean, the New Mexico game was obviously a fun game for me and Tyson. In Nevada, just glad that we won the game. I could go out there and help the team win.
You probably knew it was going to be the case, but obviously you're probably a little higher on the scouting report, like for Nevada, you know. So what's that give and take like? You're already seeing teams maybe after that New Mexico game focusing on you a little more. Maybe the shots weren't coming as easy.
Yeah, I mean, I expected that. I came to the game just ready to go out there and do what it is in New Mexico. But shots didn't fall. But I mean, I just wanted to do what I could do for the team to win, and that was just defend, rebound, and if the shot comes, we shoot it. So.
As a young player, you know you're going to go through some ups and downs. You had a high last week, and then Saturday, kind of a little bit of reality. Are you mentally strong enough to deal with that? Do you feel like you're in pretty good shape there, and you handle those situations pretty well?
I think so. I mean, it's easy to be obviously like basketball is a mental game, but with the coaches and teammates I'm surrounded by, it's pretty easy to just just move on to the next game because everyone's had games like that, so they just tell you to keep your head up and just move on. So it's just easy when you're surrounded by good people.
When you're next to a 9-time freshman of the year, or freshman of the week, I guess is there anything you can learn, or is there anything that you could say Tyson as well that just getting through being a freshman and getting your first starts?
You repeat anything?
Yeah, is there anything you can learn from Tyson? I guess.
Learn from Tyson?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Tyson Degenhart. He's like an older brother to me. I mean, when I first started on campus, he kind of took me under his wing. And the start of the year, obviously, I wasn't really where I wanted to be. But he was just like, just keep your head up, keep going. Like time will come, and just having him, in my ear, just every day in practice, kind of helps and develop the player I am right now.
So I guess Tyson, just being in that position, what can you say? What's it like, and how do you get through it? I guess.
You just gotta stay consistent with the work you put in. As a freshman, you never really know what to expect. Never know how many shots are gonna come your way. You just gotta do whatever it takes for the team to win, and he's done a good job of that this past week, and he's gonna continue to do a great job the rest of the year.
Tyson, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, 2 weeks maybe, whatever, 6 wins out of 7. It seems like different people have contributed different nights. So how is the team different, and how have you seen some of the other players, other than say you and Al, have been pretty consistent at the top of the things? It seems like more people are playing better.
Yeah, I think we have a group of guys that it doesn't really matter whose night it is. We're gonna have guys that can have 2 20-point scores. I mean, Meadow hadn't been playing probably particularly well, and then he has 24 points just out of the blue, and that just shows what we have on this team. We have a lot of guys that can get it done. I mean, JB had some huge plays down the stretch, 17 points, 3 of 3 from 3. So it doesn't really matter whose night it is. We're going to find the guy with the hot hand and keep it going.
How much pressure did that take off you that you don't have to score 20 every single night?
It takes a lot of pressure off. If teams are looking to double me, I'm going to find the open man. And if guys are hitting shots like that, it's going to make my life a lot easier.
How many free throw attempts would you have to have the ball last up there again?
I've never seen that in my entire life. I saw it and I thought, oh, it's gonna bounce off to the left, and it got stuck. And I don't think that's ever. I've never seen anything like that. It would have been hilarious if it was our jump ball. We ended up with the ball up more. Like that would have been kind of fitting. But, I'm just glad I'm glad I made the first one to put us up 4 and put us in a good spot to win that game.
Yeah, I was saying that even as a senior, you're still learning things, and like that play where you guys got the rebound, and then there's 2 guys on you. I don't know if you're waiting for the foul or what there, but you even said like, hey, you admitted like I should have called timeout, like there. And it was even this late in your senior year, there's still plays that you're thinking you should have done something differently at times and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the game kind of comes at you quick at certain aspects, and definitely a turnover that would have haunted me had we lost that game, but. I think it shows a lot about this group and just the way we responded. We've been in that spot 3 different times this year before this game, and we hadn't come away with the win. And I'm really proud of our team for responding to that turnover, getting the stop that we needed to, and getting a huge road win.
But on a play like that, when people are reaching in, when do they normally call a foul, and when do they normally call a jump ball? Is there any kind of rule of thumb, or?
It's hard. I feel like a lot of times they call a foul rather than a jump ball. It's hard to, the guy's pivoting, it's hard to get, both hands on the ball. So I think more times than not they called a foul. I think for me in that moment, I was a little rushed, just a little too frantic with it. I didn't really think about having 2 timeouts, and I just made an error, and it happens to the best of us.
Tyson, we've talked about defense down the stretch quite a bit this year. I mean, you guys came up with it on Saturday, obviously Javen with a big steal, but how much better has this defense gotten as the year's gone along?
I mean, it's gotten a lot better. I was on the news with Jay last night. He was talking about how fitting it was to get a stop like that, and with Brady as well. And it was just so fitting because we've been in that spot 3 different times this year and hadn't gotten the job done. And just knowing that we can rely on getting 1 stop down the stretch is really nice to know. Hey, we can do this. We've been here before. We can do it. So
the position you guys have put yourself in here with 4 games left, just what's your big picture thoughts on what's still attainable here? And you guys are obviously creeping back towards the bubble, and just how do you kind of look at Wednesday and also just these final 4 games to still try to get all the goals you set before the season?
Wednesday's a great opportunity for us. Utah State's right on that brink of a quad 1 game, so they're a great team. They played really well on Saturday, beat a good San Diego State team, and so we just have to take it 1 day at a time. We'll get prepped up today, and we'll go through some stuff and make sure we get better today, tomorrow, and we'll be ready for Wednesday.
I mean, we talked after that Colorado State game, maybe you believed it deep down inside, but to be here now and kind of have what's at stake here these last 4 games, when a month ago, it may not have looked like that. Well, what's this said about the last month and the way you guys have won 6 out of 7 and to kind of put yourselves in this position?
I think we really had to live in truth, especially after that Colorado State game. You're 5-4, you're middle of the pack. You don't really know what the rest of your season looked like, but we have a group that really came together and had a conscious effort to get better at defense, and you've seen that the last 7 games where we've really hunkered down on defensive end. It's ended up in 6 wins.
I asked Leon about the 6 wins in those 7 games, and what was he most proud of in terms of the way that the players have responded since that rock bottom moment. He talked about the players. Flip that question around. What have you seen from Coach Rice and what he's meant over these last 6 dominant wins after you did hit that rock bottom moment?
He still believed in us. Everyone's here for a reason, and he didn't. He doesn't not believe in our talent on our team. We just had to find the right combos of guys on the court and what we were doing offensively and defensively, and just kind of find the right groups in that matter. So it just says a lot about the coaching staff of them still working together and realizing what kind of team we still had, and for them to still believe in us.
Pearson, did you get into all Utah State games? Were you on redshirted by then or no?
At Utah State, yeah.
Okay,
That was my second game of the.
So what's the biggest difference for you playing against a team that primarily zones versus somebody that primarily plays man-to-man? How much of a challenge is it to play against them?
It's just like mentally a little different. Man-to-man, it's a little easier to attack, in the paint. Zone is, your shot's kind of there always, but it's kind of like you want to get the best shot, so you want to throw that extra pass. But I always loved zones. And the first time I played Utah State, it was obviously the atmosphere was a little different, but it went well for me. I'm just excited. This is a huge opportunity for us, and I'm just excited, to go out there and play with the guys again.
What's Utah State mean to you, Tyson? I don't know if you play favorites on the teams that you guys beat in this league, but you probably have a lot of respect for that program.
A lot of respect for that program. There's been 3 coaches the last 3 years, and they still end up making the tournament. It's one of those things that it's just crazy how it ends up happening. Different coaches, different lineups, different guys, and they still end up making it happen. So a lot of respect to that program, and it's gonna be a great game on Wednesday.
Thanks, guys.